And we should be going live here now in just a moment. It looks like we have a black screen. There we are. And we are actually live here into the first round. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paradise. This is the first round. This is the World Championship 2021. Welcome to all. Let's have a look at this. We skipped the warm-up, but we're live here on the first map. So now we can see how the players really do. Are they ready for this firework of a match? We have Papou here in the lead in the first round. Pack and Scrapie following close, with Mudda having the worst start of them all. But this is only 0.1 of a second between all four players before we go into the identity. At the end of the map here, and at the end of every map, there will be a section called the identity. This is something that's been introduced recently as a tough obstacle the players have to clear before they get to the finish line. So we will see how they do it now. On this map, it is a big ice wall you have to scale and then go down. Papou leading the race ahead of Scrapie as they go across the first ice wall. Mudda getting a little bit closer. Scrapie losing out on speed. Papou could get the first 10-pointer here. If he lands that last slide, he clips, but it looks good. He gets the 10 points. Scrapie with 6 and Mudda with 4 and 3rd. And Pack with a last place here to start off the match.
Yeah, all these players so good at this map. All of them having top 8 times. Mudda actually last place in 8th generally, then Papou in 5th, Pack in, Scrapie in 4th, and Pack in 3rd. So the expectation is that they will all be very consistent and very fast. Once again, we jump on to the track for the second round of Paradise. Don't really want to slide on this first corner, so you get enough speed for the jump. Small shortcut down towards the left, and we'll see not too much between these racers right now. Scrapie at the back of the pack, about a 10th down, but we'll catch up a little bit through the dirt section. Now we come up towards the right drift. Scrapie's still just that little bit behind, but he is very good at making up time through this dirt. All of them using as much of the track as they can. And now you take the reactor boost up. There was a hip hop there on Mudda. He's going to lose a huge amount of time into the freewheeling, and this is such a difficult part of the track. Make sure that you don't bonk Scrapie with a very wide line, and it's Pack and Papou who are leading through the second freewheeling. Onto the identity. Very difficult identity to do. Used to be that you do a full 360 here. Pack goes very high. Papou just chasing him down. Looks like he's got a little bit more speed, and he's going for a slightly lower entry onto this angle. Pack will come first, Papou second, Scrapie third, and Mudda brings it home in 4th.
And what a great comeback there from Pack after getting last in the first round. Here he secures the 10 to propel him up the scoreboard, and a great time too. They're driving 108 mid here, the world record being a 107.9 by Massa. I think Kappa in second with a 107.91. It's a super close field if you get under 108, but low and mid 108 times in rounds here is very respectable. But these two first jumps here, the shortcut jumps, are very hard to execute. You can see how quickly it can go wrong there, and Pack failing at the beginning of the round, making it a 3-way race. Here it's very important to go low across the dirt, and then you see them do this wiggle motion. This is to build up more speed with speed slides on dirt, a mechanic in Trackmania that builds more speed whenever you are sliding. Here though, we see Papou once again at the front. Mudda hoping to keep grip here, does jump out a little bit, and it is only Scrapie and Papou left to fight for that 10-pointer. Going through the corner here, Scrapie with a little bit more speed, trying to close the gap. It is about 0.2 of a second as they go towards the identity now. Papou demanding lead, but has to climb the ice wall and then build speed and stay on the platform. Most importantly, does manage it for the first turn. Can he get it good in the second one here and get up to 26 points in the first round? Looks good. And Papou here with a 108.28. That is less than 0.4 of a second behind the world record. Is looking very strong here.
Yeah, only 0.2 slower than his PB as well on this map, or at least his recorded PB on the leaderboard. So Papou off to a storming start here. We've seen a couple of errors. Pack dropping out early in round 3. Mudda not managing to keep the grip over the reactor boost. So it's a little bit tricky to maintain it. And you can see how much these guys are pushing in this round. Once again, over this first jump, as you say, can be a little bit difficult just to make sure you get the speed and get the lines, but everyone grouped up to start us off. Everyone within a 10th right now as Mudda is able to overtake Papou. You can see that little bit of gliding side to side to get the extra speed through the dirt, but you could throw a handkerchief over these guys, how close they are right now. Mudda trying to get a little bit more speed through this next dirt section, and Up onto the reactor boost once again. Is going to be able to get over that fine. Pack currently out with a little bit of a lead. Mudda going wide on the drift here. Will have lost some speed there. Down below 200 through the freewheeling, but Pack has lost some speed as well. And now it's really up to Scrapie and Papou to see who can get first place into the identity. Mudda taking a lower line than everyone else. Pack trying to catch up, but he has gone out. Scrapie coming into this once again. It looks like Papou might win 3 out of 4 races, just ahead of Scrapie. Mudda comes in third and Pack in fourth.
And what a start from Papou here on the first map. They play 4 rounds per map. He ran away with 36 out of 40 possible points here on Paradise. And that is a great start for Papou. Now he's almost a third of the way to that finalist mode as we head to the second map in this match, which is going to be Bicycle. And with these 4 players on Bicycle, this is going to be so close, Medic.
Oh, it really is. These guys are like, the thing with Bicycle as well is the identity isn't make or break, right? Obviously you want to do it well, but there's not a half pipe or a slalom or an Arctic split where a single bonk, a single misplace will just totally take you out of the running. Paradise, you have a little bit, Bicycle, you have a little bit more freedom in that identity to make a small mistake and still be able to correct it. As we go through the warm-up, we'll see who is able to really take charge of this, because currently Papou out to a very strong lead. If he can maintain this, he'll be in finalist by the time we get around halfway through our 4th map.
But we know this map to be a very strong map for Scrapie, who is within a 10th of the world record with a 109.6 PB. I think Mudda is around the same pace. We could see times here under 110 very reasonably, because with these 4 players, if you want the 10-pointer, you have to push, you have to go all in. And the way you do that on Paradise is by going very close to the wall here to build up speed, dropping into the dirt. Now they're going to jump between the trees here and set up wide for this uphill drift. Important to build a lot of speed out of the corner. And you can see Pack here showing his strength, showing what he showed in the Trackmania Grand League regular season when he was dominating the entire field. Off to a lead, Papou climbing up to second, but now we're getting into the most important section of the map. This jump here usually decides the races. Can they avoid the tree here? Pack going very close to it. It looked like Mudda crashed it, and he will be the first Yep tree of the match as we're now headed towards the Bicycle identity, which isn't one of the most difficult ones. You just gotta turn around, try to get all of the booster, and then shoot back through the checkpoint. And it looks like Pack is good for the first one. Scrapie challenging second place here, though. Getting right on up behind Papou. Can he get that one? Looks like he has more speed. Oh, it's going to be so close. 100th of a second for that second place. But a 109.94 from Pack. He is not messing around here.
Not at all. Mudda, as you say, fell out early on. It's a couple of times we've seen him make mistakes now, and the question is whether he can find that consistency that we keep on talking about. It's so difficult to manage to be consistent on these tracks. On to the second round on Bicycle, and as you say, we'll have to see who is able to maintain their form. Pack out to an early lead once again, as expected. Papou catching just a little bit of air, but he'll be able to make up for that on the jump over to the road section. Across the structure. Oh, Papou there, clipping close, and he is basically out of the running for this one. Now we'll see the race between Mudda, Scrapie, and Pack. Pack still leading the charge, but everyone else within 2/10 of him right now. Scrapie just a little bit behind Mudda as we push forward. Mudda now fallen back as well, and he has knocked himself out as well, and we're down to a 2-car race here, Wirtual. A few mistakes from these racers, really trying to push it to the edge as Scrapie and Pack, the only 2 guys left alive. Scrapie going to miss the tree there, as does Pack, and we'll get towards the identity and see perhaps if Scrapie can make up just that little bit of time. Obviously through the grass to start us off, and now down and across towards the identity. Pack has a sizable lead, almost 3/10. Should be able to bring this one home pretty quickly. Scrapie is making a charge with a little bit more speed, but Pack onto that identity, that second turbo, just a little bit quicker. He will get first. Scrapie second. Papou, I believe, will come home in third, and Mudda takes fourth.
Yeah, wow. So as you said, these mistakes, they started happening, and now you sort of have to stop the bleeding, because you cannot get off to a really bad start of the match. Then it's going to be very hard to climb back. So it's important that Mudda figures out how to stay calm. You know, it is the World Cup. There are some nerves involved, but it's important to not lose grips of the match entirely before it's too late. So he sits at 21 points, has a new round, clean sheet to try to stabilize and to try to get back into the match, but probably not the start that he was looking for here. Is going to fall a little bit behind the field again, but could perhaps catch a few players if they make mistakes in that tree jump section. We see them try to jump, push so close here to the left side on the dirt, so they can just gently steer through this entire turn. The less you steer on dirt, the more speed you get. And we see sort of two groups here. It's Pack and Papou side by side, and Scrapie and Mudda side by side, but Scrapie going right into the tree, and that is going to make him fall down to last place. But look at this battle for first. Papou challenging Pack here, who is one of the favorites to win the entire tournament in many people's opinion. Now Pack a little bit more speed than Papou, but it's going to come down to this last turnaround for that 10-pointer. Who gets the most of the booster? It could be Papou to snipe this one with a bit more speed than Pack. Oh, it's 100th or 200th of a second in Pack's favor to get him 10 points and to get him closer to Papou for the overall lead in the match.
I mean, Pack has taken all 3 rounds so far on Bicycle here. He is absolutely storming 30 out of 30 points. I have been told as well that Carl Jr. in his round is at 30 out of 30 on their first map as well. So both of the pre-tournament favorites really kicking into high gear to start us off here. I will say it is 3 a.m. for Mudda right now. He is playing in the middle of the night because he is playing from Australia, so perhaps some of that affecting his play. Usually so consistent, has just made a few errors on the early portions of this round. But here keeps it clean to start us off. Everyone basically within a tenth of each other as we get through the second corner. Papou with a slightly wider drift there has lost some time. Pack drops out as well, and now it's between Mudda and Scrapie to see who can claim this top spot. Both of them yearning for points, sitting at the bottom of the charts right now. Mudda is going to look for the jump here, dodging to the side of the tree. Both of them managing to escape it. Scrapie trying to catch up now. A tenth behind Mudda. As behind the final round of Bicycle. Mudda coming through the grass, nice and low here, onto the identity, and it's going to be a difficult catch-up here for Scrapie. He's got to make the most of these boosters. Both of them actually coming out at equal time, so it looks like Mudda might have just that little bit more speed. Onto the second booster. Mudda goes very deep, and Scrapie might have the speed to catch up with him here. Not quite. Mudda takes it, Scrapie a 10th behind, and Pack and Papou round out the pack.
And an important 10-pointer there for Mudda, who was, as you said, struggling at the bottom, gets a 10 here, makes the gaps a little bit smaller, and this is not unmanageable. We've seen 40-point comebacks. He's 20 points down, but he's gotten 2 maps out of the way, and now we go to one of his specialties, that being slalom. When I think of this map, Medic, I just think of Mudda. I think of ice, I think of precision driving up those slalom hills. This is a map that really suits him, and it also has a lot of full speed principles, which is where Mudda has his foundation. This is something that he is very, very used to, and this is where he could perhaps close the gaps. But he's also up against Pack, who is one of the best players on this map, period. He won this map in the regular season and has shown to be very, very consistent. And then there's Scrapie, who's really good, and Papou as well. I mean, these are all top players. So to get points here is going to be very difficult, but it is a map that maybe it's a bit easier than most for Mudda to do it
in the first lap.
Right, I can indeed. So we're talking huge here. Huge in Trackmania is like, 500th of a second. That's a big time saver. So watch this. On the dirt here, he's going to go intentionally far out to the right, catch the grip of the dirt, and then do a quick little slide to get into the gear. And now he and Pack will have more speed than Mudda and Papou, who didn't do this little line. And this is going to snowball all throughout the checkpoints here. Just a quick little maneuver, but that gains them around a 10th here in the best case versus Papou. So just small details like that make up a lot of time, and it can be very hard to understand where it even comes from, but it's just about building up more speed. And the same principle applies here. You want to weave through these first slalom gates as easily as you can. The less you steer, the better, the more speed you maintain. Now these ones, you got to go at full speed up the hill and land clean without drifting. And now we're coming up to the third and last slalom part, the most decisive one. Here, you have to go up the ice hill and then turn around without losing grip and keep speed for the downhill. Looks like Pack keeps the grip. I thought he was going to slide out. He is ahead of Scrapie for that first place. Will perhaps get it there by just 100th of a second, 200th at that. But what times are we seeing here? 104.6. We were thinking, will we see a 104? That is more than a 104. That is incredible, Medic.
That's just absurdly fast right now. We are like absolutely flying. 104.2 is world record on this map, and we're within 0.2 of Pac's personal best as well with that time. Mudda once again coming in last though, and that was a little bit surprising. Perhaps not back in his groove, not quite found the rhythm yet in these races. However, we'll jump on to the second round here. Scrapie out to a slight lead as Pac takes it back from him into the dirt, making sure they get all the way up to the left there to gain, to not jump over on the dirt, on the grass, sorry. Now into the dirt itself through the first slalom. Papou just slightly behind Scrapie and Pac, who lead the pack once again up into this second slalom section, trying to maneuver as little as possible while still maintaining the speed. You can see Scrapie losing a little bit of speed through there, but regaining it as we get towards the final section of the identity. Now, last time Pac did go very high on this. As you said, Mudda with a superb turn. Scrapie falling out, but Mudda just skyrocketed fourth to second place, just ahead of Papou. What a final turn that was from Mudda.
Yeah, Mudda there beautifully executing the identity, the slalom part. He's one of the players that has the best fundamental understanding of ice in this game. I watched him do that turn on stream. I asked him, how on earth do you do this? And he said it's about how fast you rotate the car. If you rotate the car too fast, then the RPM of the gears changing will be too fast. You'll gear up the car, you'll lose grip, and you'll fall off the ice. It's very important to do a gentle rotation as you go up that ice turn. And that is something he did very well there to secure 6 points. And if he gets off to a better start to this round, that would have been a 10. He would have been able to challenge Pac even for a 104.5. He's following close here, and this could be a win for Mudda if he gets that ending again. Very, very close battle up front though. Look at those three all side by side through the checkpoint. Only 200ths of a second, and they're battling up the uphill as well. This is so close. Closest race we've had so far. Scrapie, Pac, and Papou all side by side all the way to the identity. This will be decided by the turnaround, and here players are going to risk it all for a good one. Mudda even joining the fight, even overtaking first. What a turnaround from Mudda, but Papou with more speed most likely will snipe this, or will he? Mudda holds strong, and Mudda takes it with a 104.76, 100th ahead of Papou, as Scrapie and Pac both lost the grip in the turnaround, but Mudda with his expertise stays strong and gets his first 10-pointer in the match.
What a crazy run from Mudda. You can see his starts perhaps not quite as good as Papou, Scrapie, or Pac, but he is able to make up that time, now sitting at 54 points, equal with Scrapie. Pac still in the lead at 76. Papou currently on 69, and the question is, will Pac be able to maintain the grip in that final corner? He was first once again, just losing it out right at the end. Once again, it's Scrapie and Pac who lead the charge, starting off this race. And we see Mudda just a little bit behind, about a 10th behind everyone. Papou trying to take a high line there, but loses a lot of speed, and Mudda now charging forward towards the lead. Scrapie with a little bit more speed coming into the dirt, but Mudda will be able to overtake him once again. However, goes high there. Pac and Scrapie and Papou once again, the three in the lead. Mudda about 3/10 behind as we get into the uphill. Pac and Scrapie fighting for first. Papou just a couple of tenths behind, about 1.2. And behind them right now into the final identity. And it all comes down to this, as we always say, Virtual. Scrapie and Pac wheel by wheel next to each other. Both of them fighting for that first place. And it looks like Pac had it until he crashes on the final slalom. Papou will get second, Mudda third, and Pac once again just falling at the final hurdle. What a time though as well, 104.8. Great stuff from Scrapie.
Yeah, Pac there, very unfortunate though. He did have that, and I mean, he is showing really, really fast pace, but he's showing some of these cracks in the armor, some of these dents that, you know, you have to hold the race for 1 minute and 4 seconds and not just a minute. That isn't enough. You have to go all the distance with that lead that he had. But he is still holding the lead on the match, though the others are now getting a bit closer. And the races here will get really, really close. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going on to one of the most exciting maps in the map pack, in my opinion, that being Circles here. This map is built by Link for the Trackmania Grand League fall season. We saw it there in the playoffs. We saw Carl Jr. and Gwen battle it out on this map, amongst others. And now we see it again here, adapted for the World Cup. And it's going to be so close. This map, the reason that we say it has really close battles is because there aren't really a lot of difficult identities, like the slalom part. There isn't really any difficult obstacle. It's a lot about your speed management and about how well you do a couple of drifts on this map. That's what decides the rounds here. Pay close attention to Mudda. I think he will be a favorite on this, as he is one of the best players at doing this in Trackmania, about managing speed. He's off to an early lead here. Scrapie fighting back, trying to take an inside line, but the most important corner of the map is coming up right now. This drift to the right, and then this ice turn will decide a lot. How much speed you're able to keep out of this ice part decides your entire next 15 seconds of driving. Looks really good for Mudda and Scrapie in the top two. Scrapie now just inching closer with a little bit more speed, and Papou is following close as well. They're going to go through this wall ride, and then we get into the ending towards the circles, which is the main obstacle on the map. You can see it there to the right. Mudda still in the lead as Papou goes wide here. It will be a race between Mudda and Scrapie for the win. They're going to jump into the first circle and then drift to the left to go into the first quarter pipe. Now important to go through the checkpoint, grab the booster, and Scrapie contesting for the win here. Who's going to get the most speed in the last circle? Scrapie landing first, but Mudda has a little bit more speed, and this is going to go all the way to the finish. If he can carry it, Mudda will win this round by less than 1/100 of a second. And this is what I said, what we were going to see. Circles is just a stage, and these players are giving us one hell of a show on that stage.
What a performance. All the world's a stage, and Circles is definitely part of it. We'll get into the second round, but a great win as well for Mudda, getting himself 10 points, getting himself in reaching distance of the leaders right now. Only 15 points behind Pack, only 10 behind Papou. Scrapie in the middle of them all as well, as we get on into the second round here on Circles. Pack out to a slight early lead. You can see Scrapie just losing a little bit of time through that first section. This ice wall, very difficult to navigate properly. You really want minimal steering and gaining as much speed as you can into the next section. Pack and Mudda fighting for first place. Pack gets onto the boost first, and we'll just take a slight lead ahead of Mudda as we get into this wall ride. You can see Mudda trying to chase him down, breathing down his neck onto the drift and then across the grass. Mudda with a tighter line, but Pack goes over the penalty grass there. Still doesn't lose too much speed as we get on into the identity. The circles, Pack will go wide, and Scrapie and Papou chasing this down as well. Mudda losing just a little bit of speed there. As we get on into the final jump, everyone neck and neck. Mudda behind Scrapie, behind Pack, and Pack should have this one. The question is, can Mudda get second? Not quite enough speed to catch up with Scrapie. Mudda third, Papou gets fourth.
But these times they're setting Medic are phenomenal. 1:11.6 in both rounds. This is just 0.3 of a second behind the world record. And these players have played for months. So 0.3 of a second on a 1 minute race like this is not a lot. It's a very minimal gap. They're pushing this track to the limit every race. And Pack now with that 10-pointer is getting closer and closer to the points limit. They play to 120 points. And then when you reach 120 points, you have to win one more round to secure your win in the match. So Pack getting a bit closer to that points limit. Mudda, though, if he can get more points this way on this map, he will get closer to the others and close the gap in the match as a whole. Papou here, with great speed out of the ice turn, will overtake second place, even maybe challenging for first here. He has a little bit more speed than Pack and is getting closer every second of driving here. Up to the drift they go, and he is within a car length now. If he can get more speed across the grass, which he does, he will close it entirely, and they're side by side as they go towards the first circle. Jumps here will decide everything. How much speed can you build out of the jumps? A great first one by Papou, maybe a little bit late for the line here. That could allow Pack to get a bit closer, and Mudda joins the fight as well. But Papou has the lead on this round. He will be able to win that with that speed, I think, and it is pretty defined. Papou will get first, Pack in second, Mudda third, and Scrapie will roll into fourth place here. But Pack now 99 points, getting ever closer.
It's just so close between these guys. There's a couple of times we've seen less than a tenth between first and third in these races, and it's so darn tight. Last round here on Circles. Mudda still looking for a couple more wins if he's going to be able to catch up. Pack only 2 wins and a finish away from that finalist position. So much on the line for these guys. You do obviously only get 3 points overall in terms of standings for a first in these rounds, but 3 points could be the difference between making it to the semifinals and finals next weekend or having to bow out in this group stage. Once again, it's Pack out to an early lead. Scrapie trying to chase him down, trying to get that extra speed as they all come down the jump within 3/10 of each other. Mudda about a 10th behind these two leaders. Scrapie overtakes there on the loop, but takes that lower line. Scrapie's so dangerous with that line. Just a small hair's breadth would cost you all of your time there. Now into the grass section as they try and maintain as much speed as possible to get onto the circles effectively. Pack and Scrapie basically on top of each other. Mudda trying to catch up. And Mudda does tend to lose speed through this transition in the middle. Pack and Scrapie going to jump off at the same time. Scrapie a little bit lower than Pack right now, but Pack and Scrapie are so close. Pack just slightly ahead of him. Scrapie trying to catch up. He doesn't have the speed. Mudda coming home in fourth. Mudda in third. Papou in fourth. And Pack takes another first place.
And we're seeing the Pack that I think everyone expected going into the tournament, but he has really found the rhythm here. Consistent 111.6. That is a Pack performance, as you'd call it. Scrapie also looking to find his rhythm. We talked a lot about the make or break. This is certainly a make version of Scrapie, as now we are heading on to one of the two new maps here. And we are starting, well, not with reversing. That is wrong. It's going to be Turbo Stairs. Coming up here, Turbo Stairs, one of the new maps built by Deska, has built a lot of maps for the Trackmania Grand League. This one we have not seen in any tournament yet. This is the first time it's played. A world record here is set by Mudda, I believe, with a 108.3. Then we have all the other players with personal bests of 108s. But there are a lot of strategies on this map. We'll take you through it on the first round, and then we'll just enjoy it executed to near perfection in the following rounds. So, a map with a lot of dirt here. And on dirt, it's very important to either slide or to not slide. Both work, but you have to go for one of the approaches. If you pay attention to Mudda here, you'll see that he goes very sharp, so he can not slide the second part of the turn. And this gains a little bit of speed against sliding the entire thing. That puts him into first now in the first dirt section. And he is one of the players that does a no slide in the second dirt section as well. Here they want to go really high and then just gently steer through the turn. And now different approaches once again. Look at how Mudda approaches this uphill. He's first going to go wide and then go into this no slide technique here to try to build up more speed. But he is a little bit shaky on it here and is losing ground to the others. It is Pack in first, it is Papou in second, close behind. And quite the gap down to Scrapie. So the battle between these two players for the win right now. But we still have the identity to go. The map's name is Turbo Stairs. A bit of a preview of what's to come, because they are going to go up the stairs here. And on every step, there is a turbo to catch. You want to go as close around the corner as you can, and Pack crashing the corner entirely to drop down into fourth place. Scrapie now the closest contender for the win, and he's only a car length away. Will snipe the win here away from Papou in the final seconds with a 109.6 there. And 10 important points for Scrapie to get closer to that second place.
Huge win for Scrapie, and importantly for everyone else as well. Pack coming home in last makes it so much easier for them all to catch up with him. It also means if Pack doesn't win this round, he will not be in finalists. If he gets first place here, he'll go into finalist mode, but otherwise he will have to get one more finish to become a finalist. Mudda's still at the bottom of the pack at 84 points, but everything can change. We've seen people be finalists for 4 or 5 rounds before finding a win in World Cup qualifiers, and that of course can still happen on the biggest stage. Scrapie goes a little bit wide there, has a little bit of a bonkers. Pack now moves up into third place. Mudda and Papou fighting for first right now. Mudda trying to get that good line through this checkpoint, but he hits the wall as well, and he's going to drop down. Pack and Papou now fighting for this first place. Pack can sense the finalist badge in his eyes. He can see it right in front of him. Just needs to get through Papou to get there. Will Pack be able to find his way through the French player as we get towards the identity? Of course, last time Pack failed on the turbo stairs. This time maybe he'll take it just that little bit safer, just that little bit wider, maybe even settle in for second. Goes tight on the second one, doesn't quite get the angle that he was looking for. Papou gets first, Pack goes very wide. Papou will cross the line in first, Scrapie second, Mudda third, and Pack is going to have to wait at least one more round to be a finalist.
And what a time from Papou. That is a 108.5, which is a super time. It's only within 0.14 of the world record, if I'm not mistaken. The world record, a 108.36 by Mudda. So a huge time from Papou, and importantly, he now puts himself at 110 points. If he can repeat that performance, he'll go into finalist before or at the same time as Pac does. And there's still anyone who could win this match, but Papou with a bit of a worse start now. This is going to be very difficult to do, as Mudda now with a really important round. He has first place. If he doesn't want to end off this match with 0 points, now is when he has to win this round, because the others are just getting closer and closer to 120, and they could close out the match before he gets there. So now he needs this 10. He has to lead just ahead of Pac, though, who with a second place here would get to 120. He's happy with that. Could even challenge first to deny Mudda. Scrapie right on his tail. This is anyone's game right now, as they're all within 0.2, and that is nothing coming up to the identity here. Anything can change with good lines. Pac hitting the wall, and that could be disaster, as he might not get finalist. Let's see who wins it, though. Close between Mudda and Papou on the first step. The second step coming up. They both get it good. Who's going to get the most speed here? Papou building speed, but he clips the corner, and that's going to be disaster for Papou, as Scrapie might snipe it. Oh my god, what a snipe from Scrapie to get that 10-pointer just on the line. A steal and 10 points into his pocket. Mudda only getting 6 there. It looked like he had it, but no shot. Scrapie taking that 10.
Scrapie stealing it like a seagull steals your chips when you're on the beach. That was disgusting stuff from him at the end, just getting that little bit of extra speed to manage to get ahead of Mudda on the finish line. Now, once again, into the final round of Turbo Stairs. Mudda has been denied a couple of times here of that first place. He always gets out to this strong early lead. We'll see if he can be consistent through it. We've got 3 people within touching distance of finalists. Pac just needs to finish. Papou needs a second. Scrapie needs a first. Mudda needs a couple of wins if he's going to catch up with the rest of them. And at the moment, he's out to a strong early lead, but Pac gets a great dirt section to catch up with him, and Mudda goes wide. Now it's Pac and Scrapie fighting for that first place. Papou taking third ahead of Mudda as well. And now the question is, can Pac maintain himself through the identity? Because a couple of times we've seen him make mistakes. Papou is challenging Scrapie for second place. That second would get him the red badge, the finalist position. It would just be 1 win away from a win in this round. Pac still a strong lead here, 3/10 up on everyone else. Papou goes a little bit close on the corner. Pac gets a jump and gets a hit against the wall again. Pac's gonna struggle here. Scrapie and Papou fighting for that first place. Scrapie will take it. Papou gets second. Pac gets third. Mudda gets fourth, and we're gonna have 3 finalists.
Unbelievable, Medic. The dream outcome here. All 3 players go into 120 points and hit finalist, and that means that whoever of them wins the next round will be the winner of the match here. How exciting. And we are going on to the map, so Zigzag to determine it all. It's still not out for Mudda. If Mudda wins around here, he could potentially deny them. And as long as Mudda keeps winning, we could have 4 finalists. But this is getting very, very exciting now. Here is the map, so Zigzag, built by Saucymut, one of the first maps he's built for the Trackmania Grand League and the Trackmania competitive scene. And it is a really good map. It features a lot of different surfaces, even a lot of ice, which we haven't really seen prominently used mid-map, usually in the identities. So we have ice turns, we have a lot of dirt turns, and this map is a lot about your drifts, how you set up for each drift, how much speed you can carry through the next turns. Wow, Medic, take us through what could be an absolute crazy round here.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it so much. I will say as well, I just want to look at how Scrapie's turned his form around as we start this one off, because he hadn't got a first place until we hit Turbo Stairs, and then got 3 on Turbo Stairs. We'll see if he can keep that first place running, keep going through the zigzag here. Pac out to the lead. Papou in second. Scrapie in third. A 10th behind. Mudda and Scrapie going high and wide on the dirt, trying to get as much speed as they can. Down towards the first jump into the ice. Don't want to steer too much here. Pac with a lot of air time will still be able to maintain some speed and just about keeps his lead, but loses about 2/10 off of it. Into the jump here, around towards the right hand of Papou, still trying to chase down Pac, breathing down his neck. The bobsleigh coming in, Pac a little bit higher than everyone else, and looking for the speed through here. You really want 360 through the loop. Papou over towards the drift, a little bit wider than Scrapie, who has now taken second place. Pac looking for first. He can sense the first round win here, the 3 points for him, but Papou is on a charge, on a stormer, as he tries to catch up with Pack. Scrapie jumping lower. Scrapie with extra speed through this into the second jump. Papou is the one leading, but Scrapie is catching. Scrapie's trying to get the lead through this identity, just about overtaking Papou here into the drift. I think Papou has slightly more speed as they get round towards the right-hander, and it could all come down to the finish. Pack has somehow get ahead of them here, and Papou will be the first to finish. He gets through, he gets the 3 points.
Oh my god, Papou winning the match when it matters most. He delivers the goods, a 1:17 to close, and that is a dream start to the tournament for Papou, who in one of the most difficult matches that we had in the first round, he gets the 3-pointer. Now still 2 and 1 point up for grabs for second and third in the match. And we're going into the second round now. Important to see the differences in the lines here. We saw Papou go for a very narrow line, while the other 3 players here go for this outside turn to build more speed. This in turn makes it harder to control the ice, and this is where Scrapie clips the wall, and you almost saw Pack jump off the track here. It's so hard to control this, but Mudda now with a big lead, and Mudda might have been gifted around for free here as Scrapie and Pack are just crawling behind. Mudda could get up to 110 if he secures this round, and then he is just 1 round away from potentially making it another 3-way finalist tie. So this is anything but over here. Mudda gets some time now to plan out how he's going to play his next round, because the identity here, the 3 jumps across the grass, really is difficult. You can take a risky line and go low, or you can take higher jumps and lose out on a bit of speed. This is all up to yourself, how risky you want to play this, and especially the ending of the track as well, where you need to hit around 250 speed in this uphill to have enough speed to make that finish jump. So you can see Mudda go for it here, needs 250, and he just barely has it for the jump to get the 10 points and to hold off Scrapie and Pack from winning. This is only getting more exciting, Medic.
Oh, it's just so intense. Mudda 1 win away from getting into finalists. Of course, second place, it's only 1 point less than first. You still get 2 points towards your total, and so it's so important to pick up all of these points wherever you can. Scrapie and Pack will be looking for clean runs, clean lines here. Last time, both of them made minor mistakes that really cost them any chance of the lead. Mudda with a low jump there, and you can see Pack and Scrapie out to an early lead. It might be a 2-horse race already here, Wirtual, as Scrapie and Pack fight for it, but Mudda with a great dirt turn as Pack falls back. Scrapie going low through the ice here. Mudda trying to get as much speed as he can. Neither of them getting too much airtime. Scrapie, though, still has a sizable advantage here. About 3/10 down to 2 now as Mudda is on the charge. He's on the chase. He can see the Belgian in his sights. He's trying to catch up here through the bobsleigh. Both of them within probably 1/10.5 of each other. Mudda with a little bit of a slide there, but he's still going to be able to keep his speed through the loop. And with a tighter line here, may even be able to catch Scrapie. Scrapie has slightly more speed, but through the dirt, Mudda is catching. Less than 1/10 between the two of them into the identity. Low jumps from Scrapie, high from Mudda. You can see Scrapie getting just that little bit extra speed, and you can see Mudda trying to catch him through this section onto the final of the 3 jumps. And now it all comes down to the finish. Scrapie with a good line through. Mudda still about 2/10 behind. Scrapie just has to hold it together here if he is going to take second place. He will keep it all together. Mudda will get second, and Pack will come home in third.
Yeah, GG to Scrapie there. We said he was a make or break player, definitely showing his stronger side here. He got into the game pretty late again. Like, the first round was shaky from Scrapie, but once he got that snowball rolling, it rolled all the way down the hill into second place in the match. He gets himself 2 points. Now a 1v1 match here between Pack and Mudda. If Pack wins 1 round, he takes third. If Mudda wins 2 rounds in a row, he takes third. So it is a 1v1, and Pack already looking a little bit shaky here. Barely dodging the walls, has to go high for the speed here, and this time he makes it. Last round, he crashed right here, but now he has it under control. Will just get better speed across the ice there with that line to get him into first temporarily as Mudda goes too wide. Mudda hits the wall, and that might be the curtain call in this match for Mudda. He might go home with 0 points here because low speed in this part will put you 1.5 seconds behind. And now it comes down to the identity jumps and to the end jump. If Pac can do these, then he will secure himself third. So it's all in Pac's hands now to close out this match. Was perhaps not the match he was looking for. One of the favorites going into the tournament to win it all. And he might start off with 1 point here, but he will certainly take that over 0 when he finds himself in this situation. So one more jump to secure the match here for Pac. Let's see if he can get a 250 speed is needed on this landing. And he has the 253, should be sufficient. Oh, just barely for Pac, but enough to make it. Papou will win the match, Scrapie in second, Pac in third, and Mudda gets fourth.
And it really just points to the importance of consistency, right? I mentioned it a little bit at the start of as a zigzag, but Scrapie did not win a round until the second to last map. And then he won 3 rounds in that map and still ended up getting second place in the entire group. We saw Pac going out to an early lead. We saw Papou keeping up with him, but Scrapie was able to find the consistency he needed to still manage to bring home 2 points. And as much as it's not first place, 2 points is going to stand you in good stead when you look at the rest of the rounds. You've still got 5 more rounds of race